about stress? What do you think stress does to a person's life?
I think stress is really debilitating. I think it has a lot of different effects. Stress can ruin your health. For instance, it's when the chain breaks, when you've got so much stress in your body and the chain breaks, that's when you can get ill. Stress can be incredibly bad for your mental health. That's another huge part of it. And I think a lot of the time when people are under huge stress, they make bad decisions.
So what else causes stress?
A huge stress factor in life is when you fight with your reality, with whatever's going on in your life. Sometimes certain things happen in our life that we might not have control over, that we really don't like. And when we fight that, we actually make it worse. We make a stressful situation even worse. An example of this is when you think about the scammers with, Continental Wealth Management. I personally lost a third of my pension. I could get very stressed about that. I could get very much into being the victim of that. And to beginning, when I started, when it first happened, I was very stressed. I was very angry. I felt betrayed. I felt cheated. I felt many, many different things. But I realised that if I let my mind carry on like that, all that was going to happen was that I was going to feel terrible. They weren't feeling terrible. They weren't affected by the stress that I was feeling. So I had to take responsibility for my own stress levels in that. And I had to come out of the place of feeling a victim of somebody and into the place of what can I do? What can I do in this moment?
So you said that you had lost a third of your pension.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that. How did it happen?
Well, I got a phone call one day from somebody sounding very credible and telling me about how I could take my pension out from the UK and invest it overseas. I would get huge tax benefits, which I've since found out are not true. And he came to visit. And he told me he was going to, my pension was originally invested in Evergreen, which is a fund in New Zealand. And he told me that they were making between 10 and 12% on the fund a year. And he showed me some figures on his computer. Admittedly, I never got a copy of those, which I really regret now. But he sounded very credible. And I took him at face value, which was my mistake. And they weren't making 10 to 12. They never made anything, actually. Again, with them, with Continental Wealth Management. And the rest is history. It all disappeared. And every time I got a kind of report, and it was worth much less than what had been put in, I got this, oh, well, yes, but that's because it's mid-term and an investment. And by the time it finishes, it completes its term, it will be back up and it will have made money. That's the problem, is that people like me, I don't know about finances. I trusted these people who looked very credible, and I ended up losing 2/3 of my pension. But I choose not to be a victim of this because I don't want to hand my health, my relationship, my life over to the scammers. They've already taken enough. I don't want them to take any more. The first step is realising that being just angry and acting like the victim, the only person you're hurting is you and those around you. There's a lot of scammers in that world. Check them out.